All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're looking at FNHC. We've got CRKN, we've got Lays again, W Key, IMUX. They're all looking all right. I guess IMUX is probably looking the worst, but I'm pretty sure this is how it looked yesterday pre-market. We started up high, made our way down, and slowly made our way all the way back up. Same kind of thing here. We started down. We're probably going to make our way up, so I'm not too worried about that. FNHC is looking pretty good here, starting with lows of 19 cents and highs there of 50 cents. So we've got a good 100% run there. Market's a little bit red, so that could influence some of these stocks. We've got CRKN here going from 26 cents all the way to a high of 42 cents. So not quite 100% there, but it's not bad. Lay's going from lows of 288 to highs here of 430. So we've got a good range here. It's consolidating near that VWAP, which is also good. RLMD, I don't normally trade big gap downs. Occasionally I'll take a look at it, and that's not what I want to pull up. Occasionally I'll take a look at it, and sometimes it's worth playing, but it really depends why. Yeah, like this one, usually what you want to see is you want to see a big gap down, and then something that's slowly starting to build back up in the pre-market, where this one just gapped down and it's flat. So this probably won't do a whole lot today, but it depends on the news, right? Before it was basically trading flat. So it could be a pretty boring stock, but we'll watch it open. Maybe it does something. We'll see. But that was a huge gap down from $31 to 6. Was it a reverse split or something? Because if it's a reverse split, probably won't have any extra momentum or anything. If it was like a failed FDA approval or something, since it's some sort of therapeutics company, that can sometimes really negatively affect the stock before it opens, and then when it opens, it usually recovers a little bit. So depends what happened to it and why it dropped like that. But market's opening up here. FNHC is looking pretty good. It failed some primary endpoint. Yeah, thought so. So yeah, it might move. We'll have to see. So I think FNHC is going to be FNHC. Yeah, FNHC is looking pretty good here. Going to probably try and get around 0.47. Going to go for, I don't know, man. We're at the top of this band here, so that kind of worries me. I think maybe we just wait this one out a little bit. I don't know. I'm getting the feeling this might dip, so I'll leave it be for a minute. Lays is looking good. IMOX still heading down. RLMD's not really doing a whole lot yet, but we're seeing a little bit of movement there. 680 to $7. These candles are like pretty large. Wish there was a good way of actually seeing the movement here, but basically 30 or 40 cents on that candle. Lays is heading up pretty strong here, so we want to try and jump in on Lays. And we're going to be going for about a $4 entry if we can get it. We're going to go for about 450, and we'll go for a 385 stop. So 385 is going to put us pretty far down here, which is where we want to be, but below that bottom band. But I doubt we're going to get that far as it's still running, so you might have to jump in a little high here. We'll have to see. Getting a little bit of a pullback here down to 416. Might be about as good as it gets, but I think this should still come down a little bit more. FNHC breaks down to the 0.48, but it's kind of holding, so I think we're good here on FNHC to get in a 0.47. Go for point. I want to get at least 0.60 out of this, and then a 0.44 is probably the best bet. I know that's a pretty huge stop loss, but I think it's kind of needed. FNHC. Okay, Lay's dropping down a little bit more here, so we're at 413 now. Not bad. I'd like to get a maybe VWAP or lower though. 0.52 we just saw up to 0.54. If you did get in 0.47 or even 0.48, that's looking good to take some profits. So taking some profits, FNHC, 0.55. If we can get it anywhere around there is good. Lays back up to 419, so it looks like 412 was the lowest we could possibly get in here. Still sitting pretty high, but I don't know. This one's kind of a hard read up here. I think this is getting rejected off this resistance, and I think it's going to come back down. IMUX still dropping. W Key's not really doing a whole lot here. RLMD is slowly climbing here, so it went from 660 up to $7, but it's hard to get a read on this. Lays back down a little bit. CRKN, we might see a bounce off the 200 here, so that's something we want to kind of keep an eye on. FNHC back down to that 0.47. So if you didn't get your entry, you could probably get it now. I'm thinking if it touches VWAP, I might go for another re-entry on FNHC. FNHC. That's probably going to be 0.45. 0.55 is going to be the PT. And then a 0.42 stop loss. It's going to be a VWAP bounce opportunity. Yeah, 0.46 or 0.45. If you get 0.46 as your entry, move your stop up to 0.43. We have a lot of shares in this, so it's still kind of struggling here. So yeah, I'd say about 412 is not a bad entry on this. If you get 412, make sure you move your stop up a little bit, maybe 390. You just want maximum 20 cents on a stop here. RLMD coming down a little bit. We have CRKN not really doing anything. Lay's bouncing up here, so it's a good thing. Got entry there almost at 430. You can take a little bit of profit here. Taking a little profit. Lay's 430. Morning. CRKN doing a nice bounce here. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce on FNHC. So we kind of have basically two full well, like 1.5 positions, I guess. So if you got in 0.46, move that up to 0.43. There we go. Let's see here. W key nasty drop. We have Lays still going, and CRKN does look like it's coming back. So I kind of want to take a CRKN position here. 0.33, I would say. We're gonna go 0.40 at least, and then a 0.32 stop. Yeah, 0.32 is pretty close. Let's go 0.31. I know that's again a pretty big stop, but I did not mean to click that. Okay. FNHC holding. Lay's pushing for that 435 resistance. If you didn't take around 430, 435 is not a bad place to take some because we're hitting resistance here and we're near that top. So if we can break through here, we're going to see some good gains, but we will likely get rejected at least a little bit here. CRKN looking good, 3.5. Hoping to at least get this up to 0.40 because it doesn't. Waiting for the pullback. Missed which one you were talking about on that one, so I'm not really sure. If it was Lays, then yes. Where did I get on an FNHC? The first time around or second time around? That was 632, so probably the first time around was 47 cents. I am in already. Yeah. Most likely in already. That was at 634. Yeah, I think that was probably the FNHC player talking about. 0.36 here on CRKN, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of profit on this just to minimize risk. Taking some profit. CRKN, 0.36. We're almost at 0.37 here, but we got to break through VWAP, and that's why I'm taking profits here. So I'm not sure if we will or not. FNHC really struggling here to head up any further. We are negative on that MACD already, which is kind of a good thing that we're above VWAP still. Lay's looking to push through finally, so we're at 440 now. Yeah, FNHC, I am in on both my positions. First entry is 47 cents, second entry is 46 cents. CRKN taking a little bit of a dip. We're seeing that 440 Lays. 446. RLMD is kind of giving it up here, even dropping lower than I thought it would. So I don't think that's going to be playable. Really, Dwack is a stock that we could possibly play right now. Let's see. 17, 1850. It's got an okay range to it. It's got a possibility that that could be playable. So we're going to see if FNHC holds here. CRKN looks like it is topping out a VWAP so far. Lays probably will hold this resistance or support now. We'll see how high this goes. 450, I'll probably take a little bit more off the table, or around 450. RLMD breaking down, Dwack still going. 0.45 here on FNHC. This is probably getting a little touch and go here. Lay's making that push, 448. That's not a bad place to take some extra profits, so make sure you're securing some. On Lays, 448-ish. It's going to be coming back down a little bit. Pretty healthy pullback. FNHC recovering a little bit here, looking good, breaking back above VWAP. MACD starting to turn around, so looking okay there. Dwack has honestly got some decent momentum. We have a couple other things we can check out here. I'm going to close down RLMD. I'm not really seeing much IMNN potential there. 155 to a high of 180, so decent range. These candles are pretty big. Do I want to play something that volatile though? Down to 160, just like that. Sure, let's try to... Gotta watch out for that spread. You're gonna have to limit buy-in, I think, but I want to try this IMNN 160, 165 would not be terrible. Gonna go for 175 and then a 162 stop loss. So hopefully you can limit buy-in at 165 or lower. IMNN 163. Let's do it. Let's go 168. So 163, I'm gonna give it about 3 cents. We got a 160 stop on this. Now let's hope that the spread isn't bad if I hit it. I did take the second entry on FNHC, yes. 168. Come on, make that push. 169. I'll take some profits at 170. Just saying this ahead of time so I can put the orders in. Profit, IMNN 170. .48 looking good. CRKN looking really good here, pushing to 0.39, pretty close. We can take some profits. Profits, CRKN 0.39. Still holding on to some of this, so we'll see PT and maybe a little bit more out of it. Lay still struggling, but staying above that support area now. IMN just about touches the stop, does not stop me out. I guess that has to do with the spread. Hopefully we see some higher gains here then, because now I'm starting to get worried I might not get filled on my stop until like way later, which is not necessarily a good thing. Could be, looks like a good thing right now because we move back up, but if we drop really hard and I don't get to pull out in time, that could be bad. But I kind of anticipated that a little bit with the spread. Spread's gone right now, that's good. Means we might be picking up a little more liquidity, hopefully. CRKN making that push. FNHC up to that 0.50 mark. Where did we buy in on this? 0.46. So we could take a little bit off at 0.50. Little profit. FNHC 0.50. I mean, 4 cents isn't bad. IMN still really not really moving here. This could have been somewhat of a trap. Dwack is just going. I think this is definitely something that could be playable. It's a higher price range, but we have the volatility we kind of want on something like that. We're seeing like whole dollar moves. Okay, let's see here. Back to 165 here. Did anyone else get stopped out on this? Had news this morning? Yeah, this could be running again. You know what? I want to take an entry on Dwack. I don't know if we're going to get a decent sized pullback on it, so this could be kind of risky. But I kind of want to just take a position on it and kind of hold for a while. So 20, we're going to go for 24 on it, and we're going to give it a $19 stop loss. Just really flat numbers. Okay. Oops, misspelled that. Okay, well, we're almost up a whole dollar on it. That's nuts. That's actually nuts that that happened that quickly. CRKN pushes to that 0.40, which is PT. Whoops, I don't know what I clicked there. PT, CRKN. Close that. We're not taking. I'm not taking more at 0.40 because I think we might see a pullback, but we might see a bigger push after that. Lay's looking down a little bit here. IMN and not looking really good at all, but Dwack, we ran it into a halt, so I guess that was the good play to jump in. Yeah. IMN not looking too bad, I guess. IMUX here might be turning around. What do we have here? We have a little bit of support. Actually, you know what? This is a pretty decent support area overall. So this could be a good bounce. We'll have to wait and see. FNHC back down. We've got CRKN still pushing. Lay's looking to bounce here. If you're not holding onto a lot of shares, this could be a good opportunity. Dwack halted at 644, 645. We got 4 minutes left. Yeah, so if you're not holding onto a lot of lays here, you could look at this as a re-entry opportunity. IMN definitely stopping us out this time. Okay. That's not bad. Not exactly what we wanted. I took some profits at, you know, when we had a couple cents there and gave it back. So we basically got a break even on that besides fees, which isn't the worst, but I really don't want to jump back into this. I don't like the spread on the stock. I don't like how it's not moving anymore. It's just not doing anything. We've got fun popping up. I'm not even sure I should really even look at fun because every time I do, I take a play on it and lose on it, but we'll pull up the chart. Of course, it's looking half decent. Someone else could take a play on this. I'm not going to, though, because I always tend to lose on the stock. FNHC drops even further this time. APDN, we could take a look at that. That did have a decent move there. Going from 239 to 270, so it's got a good range to it. MACD or the VWAP and 200 are kind of flipped right now, which I don't necessarily like, but we might see a correction on that. APDN, yeah. I forget what happens to me when something I was about to sell gets halted. Well, usually it depends on what direction it's getting halted. If you're selling it on the way down and it gets halted, well, you're probably going to end up with a loss. Hitting the first stop on FNHC for the first trade, but that's okay because we got some profits out of it, so I'm not worried. Hitting the second stop again, we got some profits out of it, so not necessarily worried about those. We still walked away with some profit. Would likely have been more if we could have held that VWAP as planned, but we can always look for a re-entry on one of these. Maybe down at the support area. I don't think it's going to go all the way down to 200 here. I could be wrong, though. I think CRKN is still looking good, so we're still holding on some of that. We still have some lays. APDN with a nice bounce so far. Dwack halted probably for another 3 minutes here. 2 minutes, I think. IMUX had a nice spike there going from a bottom of 942 to almost $10. MMAT, let's take a look. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I like this one. $8 to $36. So we've got a decent range. We've got a nice run up. Hopefully we see a pullback on this. I'm not really too inclined to believe this is going to just keep going. So I'd like to see a pullback at least down to the 9 EMA here, 126. Yeah, that's looking like that MACD's going to start turning around here too. So give that a minute. We've got DCT we could take a look at as well. No, don't like that. Okay, let's see. FNHC looks like another dead cat bounce potentially. I wouldn't really trust this quite yet. We've got Lays starting to move up. CRKN looking like it's still going to break into that high. DWAC still halted. Not really sure how to feel about APDN quite yet. Lays has got all the volume right now. Got AZ we could take a look at as well. 135. This thing is just rolling. Got a lot of levels up here. Yeah, I just I don't know if I want to touch this. I'm gonna FOMO into it eventually. Unhalted, we did see a high there of 20, almost 22. Looks like it is coming down a little bit here. We'll have to see where it goes. You accidentally sold trying to set sell limits. Ah, crap. Well, that means you got some profit, right? Get back into DWAC. I haven't left it. I would say right now it's probably looking pretty risky. This could see a pretty massive drop. Do make sure you're securing some profits on this though. If you're up anything decent. Lay's looking okay. CRKN taking a little bit of a dip here. FNHC, yeah, that was a fake out right there. We're heading down a little bit more. $10 in profit. The percentage is what matters, not so much the dollar amount. Depends on, because like dollar amount depends on the account size you have. Percentage is usually better to determine the actual gains. MMAT is not looking too bad here. Honestly, I think this might go again. This is tough. This is tough. I think I'm gonna try it. I'm not really too confident in this. $1.28 if we could. We might have to get $1.30. We're gonna try for $1.40. And if we get $1.28, we'll go for $1.25. I think it'd be $1.24 stop. Oops. $1.24 stop. All right, we're at $1.25. I guess I'm buying in here. Buying in 125, 120, one stop. Didn't expect to get in so low, but that almost brings us to VWAP. Not quite, but we're almost there. Okay, let's see a nice recovery now. Fingers crossed. CRKN hitting close to that 40 cent mark. FNHC still not doing much. DWAC back down to VWAP almost. Very bearish looking candles so far. Let's see here. APDN. Yeah, I don't know what this is going to do. I'm having a hard time reading some of these stocks right now. We did see up to 129 here on that last candle. Hopefully we start to bounce off that 9 EMA. That would be nice. W keys just going lower and lower here. I think we're just going to go ahead and, yeah, you know what, we'll leave it open. It could end up doing something good. IMUX still breaking down. Let's see. Fund starting to hit a pullback. Might see a recovery out of DWAC. Back to 130 on MMAT. That's 5 cents. Let's go ahead and take some profits on that. Might get 130, might get 131, could get 129 here. take the 131. All right. Let's see if we can get some more out of it. Looks like we basically hit the exact bottom of the pullback, which is good. Whack slowing down on the way down here, which is good news. Blaze looking like it's consolidating. CRKN as well. FNHC hasn't, looks like it might have bottomed out here at 42 cents or 43 cents, I guess. That could be a good place for a re-entry. I'm not completely right in there yet. Does buying more shares take more to sell it? You can run into problems if you're buying too many shares. However, for the average person, I don't think you really have to worry about that. Not unless you're buying it. With the kind of stocks that we play, you'd have to be buying a couple 100,000 shares for it to really matter. Or just have a really bad brokerage. You could have a really bad brokerage as well. That could kind of suck up the profits. We did hit 133 there in CRKN. This could be a good buy-in opportunity, honestly. I know it just went negative, but there's always that possibility. DWAC recovering. Yeah, you know what? I would like a CRKN re-entry. CRKN 130, or not 133, just 0.33 to 0.40 with a 0.31 stop loss. So basically the same trade we took last time. I think our entry was 33 cents, was it? That's what we were aiming for. I got 34 cents last time. But either way, I'm quite all right trying to take this risk again because we did get it to 0.40. I didn't take profit to 0.40. Okay. FNHC. Not looking bad, except it did break a new low here, and it did touch that that next support area, 41 cents. So I'm not really convinced yet that I want to touch this. So I'm going to leave that for a little bit longer here. We'll see. MMAT still not really doing a whole lot. We got APD in here looking like it's taking off a little bit. 266 to 275. You know what? We could probably try APD, and it's holding pretty steady here. APDN. I guess 270. If you could get lower, though, honestly, I'd really like to get about a 266 entry, but I don't know if that'll happen. So we'll just say 270. We'll go for a 285 at least. And then go for a 260 stop out. Hey, 266. Taking this 266 entry. And that is APDN. I'm going to keep that stop the same anyway. Just taking a little bit less risk off the table. Taking a little bit of the risk off the table. MMAT coming down a little bit here. CRKN looking good from our entry here. We're up to 37 cents. We can go ahead and take a little bit of profit. Taking some profit. CRKN 0.37 or 0.38 if we hit it. Whatever you feel comfortable taking. FNHC breaking down. So we're looking at the 200 bounce here. Just seeing where we are on this. Okay. Well, we're still breaking down on this a little bit. Could have gotten an even better entry. This does look like it should start moving up, but volatility could kick us at this point. MMAT back down to entry point. DWAC still recovering slowly. Yeah, I'll be looking for that 200 bounce on FNHC. Bands are pretty tight here. That might actually save us. W key still dropping. Blaze not looking too great either. We did see a nice spike up to that 440 area, but nothing more. FNHC is getting pretty close here. I want a 0.38 entry on it. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and say this now so people can get prepared for it. FNHC, 0.38. Going to go for 0.45 at least, and then a 0.36 stop. It's hard to alert things ahead of time sometimes, because usually when I alert something, it usually means I'm getting in pretty quick. But with this one, we're kind of waiting a little bit longer. I'd like to see this down to that 200 to see if we can get pretty much the best entry possible. Dwack, another big red candle there. APDN stopping us out, so APDN was just a losing trade there. Okay. MMAT still looking like it's going to be hitting more of a pullback. It's just pulling bearish here. So if you're still holding on to quite a bit of MMAT, I'd be looking to probably cut it at this point. If you're only holding on to a little bit, it might be worth the risk, but you can get out at break even here, and that's probably looking like the best option if you're holding on to a lot of risk here. Waiting for 0.33. No, I already got in on CRKN. Yeah. It went below. Yes, I did get stopped. Keep forgetting to check the chat. Dwack going again. Yeah, it did. And Dwack and Fun in complete parallel. Are they? Yeah, pretty much, eh? It's actually a little weird. Do you think Lay's going to hold the support? Yeah, it's got some support there at like 410, 411. We'll have to see. APDN looks like it's breaking through support right now. I mean, like, you might find a little bit 248. CRKN looking good. FNHC actually looks like it's coming back here, so I'm not really sure what to think about that. Fun could possibly be turning around here as well. 122 to 134, so it's got a good range to it. Volume's a little low, so that's the only thing I'm kind of concerned about right now. We don't have a lot going on right now. We actually have another thing popping up though, WNW, which has been going up and halting quite a bit lately, but this one looks like it might be a downwards halt at this point. Yeah, very spotty price action. I don't think I want to touch that. Even though this looks like it could be a good opportunity from 134, you might see a decent recovery off that. I don't really want to play that because of spotty price action. CRK, a nice bounce to 37 cents there. Hopefully we see a little bit more out of it. Hopefully we get our entry here on FNHC, but I'm starting to think we're not going to. That bottom band is starting to curl up. We're probably going to hit a consolidation here, so I'm thinking we might have to get in around 41. So maybe I'm going to say I'm going to get in here at 41. Jumping in FNHC, 41-ish. Point, 39 SL. So we're adjusting the parameters a little bit. I'm not really too comfortable with 0.39 stop loss, but we can't really afford to give it like another 2 cents to get it below the 200 there. So we'll just have to make do with what we got going on here. CRKN looking half decent. Dwack here, not really doing a whole lot. MMAT actually did come back after hitting 124. So if you're still holding on, it's looking a lot better now. Are we still going to hit that 130 area? I'm not really sure if we'll hit that again just yet, but I think it's so far looking somewhat likely at least. Dwack looks like it might come back. Lay's still struggling, but it hasn't really broken down any further. FNHC is looking decent. CRKN's looking decent. Yeah, at this point, I think we're just waiting. Am I waiting for 0.41? Yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't want to get it any higher than 0.41. Even like anywhere on that 0.41 scale is fine with me, but I just don't want 0.42. Like you might even get a little lower here. You might get, if you're really lucky, you might get 0.40. Could be waiting a little bit. Well, you know what? It's dipping, so yeah, we might be able to get at least the bottom of 0.41, if not 0.40. Yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to say, but 0.41 or 0.40 looks like probably the best options right now. CRKN looking like it's breaking down a little bit. DWAC still holding. MMAT is still holding as well. I still think fun's going to go back up to that 134, 135 area. It's like taboo for me to play this stock, so I'm just not going to do it. Lay's recovery. CRKN hitting that 0.37. Still want 0.40 out of this. At least 0.40 till I scale out on this one, and then we still have some shares left from the last one as 2, so we're probably looking. I kind of want to hit like 0.44 or something at the end of it. Rev salted, that actually didn't pop up on my scanner. Yeah, that's halted. Yeah, that 389 to 505 for a bankrupt company. Amazes me. And then you got Rolls-Royce trading for pennies. Then you got a bankrupt company at $5. Still think it hits 24. I still think it's got a good opportunity to hit 24. I'm still holding on to some of it. Yeah, no kidding. FNHC, yeah, I still think you might get a better entry on FNHC if you wait. Of course, you're taking that risk of getting a worse entry if you wait, so. APD and curl. Yeah, looks like it could be curling here. Volume's still pretty low though, unfortunately. MMAT at 130. I'm just gonna call it MAT. MMAT is like really consuming to say, time consuming. Rev still halted. I don't even know when that halted, so 0.42. There's probably only 2 minutes left on that halt. We got Matt here, still looking okay. Lay's looking okay. CRKN still needs to break out. FNHC back up now. Well, what I said about FNHC is you can wait. It might hit that, but again, you're looking at possibly getting a worse entry if you do wait for 0.40. Which now at this point, if you're still waiting, it looks like you could potentially get a worse entry. But, you know, 0.41 somewhere still looking like it's on the table. See, the thing if we hit 0.40, is you're looking to break down from that support area. And if you break down from that support area, you might get lower than 0.40 altogether. So that means that could be the difference between you stopping out or not on a trade like this. But to me, this doesn't look like it should break down anymore. It's looking like it's consolidating upwards. So I'm in on FNHC. Yeah. And CRKN still hovering around 37 cents. Lay's still down. DWAC not doing anything. APDN up. Matt not breaking that 130, which is really annoying. And Rev, I think it's got 1 minute left on the salt. So we'll see what happens when it unhalts. We need things to start moving. Everything's so slow. Let's see, market's pretty much completely red today, so that'll probably have quite a bit to do with the the problem here we're having with stuff not really moving. I'm most interested in seeing how Rev unhalts here. APD, a nice curl. 0.38, so we are breaking out a little bit here on CRKN. Still hoping for like 0.40 or above. I'll take some more at 0.40 on the second trade, but I'm leaving the first trade shares alone for now. Finally starting to break through that 20 EMA on FNHC. Rev on halt. Not looking too great so far. Not the kind of momentum I want to see to buy in, that's for sure. Looks like it might make a push here. Nope. Maybe bounce off VWAP. Yeah, it's not really showing too much in terms of strength here. Not yet, anyway. Definitely doesn't make me confident enough to buy in. 39.50 here on CRKN. Gonna go ahead and say taking some profit at 0.40. Or around there. All right, averages us up pretty good there. So we're looking to maybe hit 0.45 on both these trades. That would be fantastic. FNHC still struggling here. Rough breaking down, 480. Matt's still having a problem getting past that 130 zone. I feel like if we break 130, we should probably see 135 pretty quick. Yep, still in MMAT. I still have MAT or Matt, still have some Lay, still have S or CRKN, and still have some FNHC. So still holding on to quite a bit of stuff. We're just waiting to see what these do. Saw 131 there. I know my bot was put into a new server, I think last night. So for those of you that are new here, yeah, we trade small cap momentum plays. So you can expect stocks ranging from like 30 cents to maybe $30. It really depends on the stock. Normally we don't play things like DWAC or anything up that high. We usually try to keep it to like max $8. But sometimes we do end up going pretty high if there's enough momentum on stocks that are bigger. CRKN's down a little bit. FNHC also down a little bit now. So back to 0.41. Hmm. CRKN down quite a bit here. Down to 0.35. I'm not sure I want to open up another trade on CRKN right now because we're just range trading. IMNN, yeah, that one was just a trap altogether. And fun, I just stay away from fun. Sometimes the stock moves really well. Today it didn't move very well, but there's some days where it does. And even when it does, I still can't win on it. I don't know why. So I just stay away from it. I shouldn't have even opened up a chart for it because I almost tempted myself to play it. But I resisted the urge and stayed away. FNHC looking like it might come down on us, which is not necessarily good. We could get out a break even here if we want to. Yeah. If you're not in it yet, you could be looking at a 0.40 or 0.39 entry if you get real lucky here, because that would be about the bottom. Honestly, Rev's holding pretty good here at 480. God, everything's so slow today. How many trades are we at? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we're at 10 trades. I didn't even know that. Okay, so it looks like FNHC is going to be our last one. Other than that, we just have lots of runners open, waiting for stuff to actually start to move. My entry, 41 cents. Lay's not doing a whole lot. CRKN's, yeah, bottoming it out again. Not really doing a whole lot. We've got FNHC, also not doing a whole lot. Oh man, it's going to be a boring 10 minutes. 15 minutes, not 10. Something's got to do something here. What does ES look like? It's not looking too bad, I guess. Let's take a look at the heat map. Not Mac. It's not looking too bad, I guess. Everything's down a little bit. Yeah, I guess energy and a little bit of financials. The only thing that's really green. Got some CPI data coming out. Actual 0.4, expected 0.2. That'll do it. That will do it. Yep. Yeah, none of this looks very good. Even futures are all down. Bonds are up. That's boring. Okay. Yeah, FNHC still not doing anything. Man, we took like 2 minutes to look at that and nothing even moved. Literally everything is exactly where we left it, except we got maybe an extra cent here on Matt. Right now, I'm just staying in. If we get hit with a cut, that's fine. I'm okay taking a loss on it, but I do think this is going to recover. It's just the only thing I'm kind of worried about is the stop is pretty close. I would much rather put it at like 0.37. It's just too much to stomach from where I got in, so you never know. This looks like a Necro special where I get stopped out at 0.39 and he puts the stop down a little bit further and ends up making a win out of it. Yeah. I can feel it. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, nothing's moving. Everything is absolutely still. All right, we'll just wait it out. We'll just stare at this FNHC chart until something happens. What's stop on it? 0.39, bottom of 0.39. Whack heading down towards our stop as well. I mean, we got some out there, so I'm not too worried about it, but I'd like that to go back up. I was hoping for 24 bucks. Really depends. I mean, with FNHC, like ideally, maybe like a 0.38 for a stop if you want to be safe. But at that point, you're also, you have a really large stop on it. So that's the problem, right? So you got to make that decision whether or not you want to, for the added safety, you're taking a bigger risk or not. Not seeing a whole lot going on here. with anything. Rev bouncing off the 20 pretty nicely. That's about it. I think we're gonna see some good recoveries today in the afternoon, so I'm gonna watch the charts. Um, we'll see what's going on with that. Just about to touch. There it is. All right, so we're done on FNHC, but we still have runners in basically everything at this point. So we'll see what's going to happen with these over the next couple minutes. Might be stuck holding them for quite some time. We will see. Hmm. So now I'm curious, if we had moved our stop down to like 0.38 here, would that have saved us? We're going to find out. I dare say this is probably the boringest day this entire month so far. Luca, come on, dude. Come on, get your shit together, man. Don't be knocking stuff over. Hmm? What do you want? Okay. Oh, man. I mean, APDN looks like it could do something here, but again, we're not seeing like any momentum in the market. What? Oh, we're dropping on FNHC again. Could be a stop either way on this one. Kind of hope so anyway. Would make me feel better. Is there anything else? There's actually nothing else moving. There's nothing else getting any momentum. This is looking like it's basically it. Oh, you want a hug? Come on. What you want? Hmm? Yeah, he knows it. FNHC's back, it looks like. Damn it, would have saved us. That 0.38 stop would have saved us. Kind of thought so. That's okay though. Yesterday was more boring. No, I actually think today was more boring. Although, no, yeah, yesterday we made quite a bit of money. We actually ended the day 766 bucks up. So we did really well yesterday. Today we're 440 bucks, which is one of the worst days. Um, what day was this? Tuesday? Tuesday we made 300 bucks, which was not very good. Today we're at least 3% on the portfolio. So we're not doing too bad. What do you want, dude? We're not doing too bad today. So what? Let's see, percentage wise, what are we at? Only 72. Yeah, because we took a big loss on FNHC. You know what? I'm still glad we didn't put that stop at 0.38 though. That would have been like a 6 or 7% loss. We're almost at the 5% just where we had our stop anyway. So that was pretty much the maximum risk I could have taken. You mentioned that you enter your orders directly on IBKR, not TradingView. Any reason why? Yeah, because if you do it on TradingView, you can't get the same hotkeys. did you try to input order on TradingView? No, I have. Well, I mean, I did with like taking like futures plays on the paper trading account, but I don't. It's there's really no hotkeys for it. It's like shift buy or shift sell. That's basically it. There's no extensive order entries or anything, so that's where they messed up with the integration between the two. CRK and going down to the 200 here. So if they fixed it where they implemented TradingView charts into IBKR, I may be more inclined to do it, but the way they did it, they kind of did it backwards, and they took what makes IBKR good and they just made it bad, because they didn't give you the hotkeys, which is the good part of it. So, and then they give you the TradingView charts, but it's just simpler to do it this way anyway with two separate programs until they fix it and make it go the other way. Rev looks like a nice recovery off that 20 EMA. APDN. Yeah, APDN's looking okay too. It picked up a little bit of momentum there, going from 260 to 274. Yeah, FNHC still really, honestly, even getting in at 0.39, it really just wouldn't make much of a difference. There's not a whole lot in gains there. At some point you're going to have to move so I can have my chair back in place. That's got to happen. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Rev moving again. Yeah, it's back to 5. Dude, so you're knocking stuff over. Just go lay down. You are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Looks like it might top. Well, I would like to see if it doesn't top out at 5, though, if it can get a little higher. Let's see. Top band's opening up a little bit. You might see a little bit of momentum here. Come on. It's not looking likely. There's a pile of sellers there. People are going to get scared because there's not a lot of momentum in the market. So getting this thing to push higher might cause excitement. So this could actually run up into another halt if it can get higher. I think there's a couple people here that use Webull. I don't think we have anybody. There's nobody here that day trades and uses Webull that's on staff, because Webull's not really the best for it, because they're not direct market access. But I've seen the hotkeys very briefly on Webull when I was helping someone. They're pretty simple. The only problem that I can see is they're not very advanced. Like there's not a lot of customization you can have with your hotkeys. My suggestion would be, if you're afraid you're going to mess something up, just put the size on those hotkeys down to like basically nothing to try them out. So, I mean, at most you're risking a couple dollars then, or try it on a paper account if you can use hotkeys on a paper account. I don't know on Webull, but you should be able to. APDN flying here, 280. We broke into a new high on Rev. Could continue going. We're basically out of time, so we'll just go through the money board here. So we made 440 bucks today. That brings our win rate down to 80% because we actually took 3 losses today. Last couple days, actually, we've taken about the average amount of losses, I'd say, because we usually sit around a 70% win rate. As far as today goes, we took a 72% win, so definitely worse than yesterday. We took, well, technically, I don't know if this should count as a loss. It counts as a loss because the fees counted as a loss, right? We technically lost. It's a 534 on Rev, 540, something like that. But besides that, we only took 2 real losses, and one of them was FNHC for almost 5%. So we basically maxed out the amount of loss we were allowed on the account, and APDN for 2.5%. So could we have given APDN a little bit more room and made it work? I'm not really sure. Probably not, because we had 260. We would have had to put it down to 250 to be safe, and that's a whole lot of risk. But yeah. It's looking pretty good right now. 287, 289, something like that. Definitely too high to jump in, so I'd be waiting on that. Lay's still okay. You know what? Lay's, it's one of those things where the volumes died down and we might be stuck holding this till the afternoon, but I do think that this is going to be a win. I think CRKN is going to be a win. I think FNHC could be FNHC could be a win as well. It's just going to be a matter of time. I think the morning just got really upset with the news that came out on CPI data and stuff and whatever else. I don't know. The whole market's just red right now, so that's the problem we're seeing with a lot of this. But yeah, I think all of these have potential. I don't think they're going to happen right away. I think it's going to be closer to lunch hour before we start seeing some of this stuff run. But yeah, we'll have to see. Other than that, guys, though, yeah, I would focus your attention on FNHC, CRKN, Blaze, maybe IMUX. I think it still has potential to go. APDN obviously because that one's already going, and then Rev is looking good because it broke into a new high here. So we're probably going to see this back down to VWAP and then probably push even higher. So yeah, keep an eye on those things. MMAT, it could be okay, but yeah, I was having a real hard time breaking out any higher, so I'm not really completely convinced on that. And DWAC is moving real slow too. Bad day for you? It's okay. There's always tomorrow. Anyways, guys, hope you made some money. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, guys.